commencement ceremony. Each year, the faculty elects salutatorian for the graduating class. After reviewing the candidates this year, however, the faculty elected 2 members of the class to be salutatorian. Sometimes they just can't agree at all. They chose, that is, the 2 who were elected salutatorians, the order of their speeches today. The first young man to speak this morning is a 3-year student at Wayland, and from the beginning has distinguished himself inside and outside of the classrooms. He's been very involved with campus activities and has shown his dedication to learning. His involvement with the Junior Classical League is significant in that he is a multiple award winner at JCL activities and has held state office in the organization. In all of his activities while at Wayland, he has shown intelligence, a good work ethic, and an enthusiasm for learning. He'll be attending Vanderbilt University in the fall. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the salutatorian of the class of 2013, Trenton McMaster.
Hi, everybody. Wow, I'm a lot more nervous than I expected. Sorry. Coming to Wayland Academy for the last 3 years has been the most important thing to happen to me in my life thus far. For me, Wayland was more than just a school or a new experience. Wayland was quite literally my lifeline. Just a few years ago, from 5th grade, all the way into my freshman year of high school, I suffered from very severe depression. And it was to the point that I was very seriously considering committing suicide. I'm so thankful today that I never did that.
Amen.
All right.
Throughout middle school, I was bullied every day. I didn't really have any friends, and I was just getting tired of everything. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Take your time.
Okay, good time.
I like to use the metaphor of the tunnel in my life at this time. And as I looked through that tunnel at the time, I didn't see anything ahead for me in the distance. Everything was just dark. Finally, in my freshman year, I had absolutely had enough. And I told my parents that I couldn't do it anymore. I could not return to that same school the next year, no matter what it took. And so we started to look at other schools in the area, and we started to look at some boarding schools. And rather quickly, we found Wayland. And when I first stepped out on this campus, I was home. I knew that this is where I wanted to be. And in that moment, I saw that tunnel fork in the distance. And down one path, there was a globe light. And so I applied to Wayland. And I began to wait. And I was terrified the entire time. I was approaching that fork so rapidly, and I had no idea which way I was going. And then I got the news that I was accepted, and that I would be attending Wayland in the fall.
Amen.
And I felt myself turn toward that side with the light. And throughout the summer, before I came here, I was so excited. More excited than I've ever been. And And then I finally got here, and it was more than I could have ever hoped for. Every person on campus was amazing, and I was getting along wonderfully. But I still felt trapped in that tunnel. Just looking forward and seeing life and just anticipating getting there. And there was one day that was a big turning point when I finally came out of that tunnel fully. That was one night, a couple of months into my sophomore year. I was sitting in my room during study hall. My roommate had gone to the library to work. When two of my fellow seniors, came into my room. That is Landon Heinrell and Will Kill. These were two guys that I had started to become really good friends with. They were really cool, and they came into my room, and they told me they had something to tell me. And I was so nervous. I can't express it. And then they told me that they wanted me to be part of what they referred to at the time as the Brotherhood. I know that sounds kind of like a cult, but it was just what they had called themselves to show how good friends they were. And the fact that they asked me to be part of it was, when they did that, that was the happiest moment in my entire life. And I don't know if either of them remember that night or the Brotherhood. But I tell you that I will never, ever forget that as long as I live. Because for the first time in almost 6 years, I had friends. And to this day, those two are two of my very best friends in the world. And there are so many more among them now, and they're too numerous to name. There's so many people in this room that I could go through, and I could stay here for an hour and just list. And I'm so incredibly thankful to all of you and to the school for the opportunity to make these friendships and to form these bonds. Wayland has literally saved my life. And I know I'm not the only person in this room that feels that way. And so to everyone here, to each and every one of you who's been a friend to me, thank you.